What's up, everybody? It's your girl Kiwan, and I am back with Heart and Hustle Houston Season 2, Episode 10, DeLuLuland. Y'all, before I start, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Click the notification bell button so you can be updated on every video I drop. Make sure you like the video so I can stay in the algorithm. Y'all, it look like we have one more episode left from if I'm not mistaken. I think so it look like we got one more episode, and then we're done with that. I am going to review Put a Ring on It, I guess, Cheater, whatever they call it. I'm going to review that, but I just need to get all my other stuff. I am still reviewing Soul Food, y'all. So it's probably 12 or 13 episodes that is up on the Brick TV, but I am at episode 7. So I want to get y'all. I really want to get y'all these episodes, but I be so tired. Wednesday, I'm not sure what's gonna happen because Wednesday I have to have my infusions done. So we'll see what Wednesday look like. Maybe after I rest up, and then I'll come back and see what I'll give y'all on Wednesday. Maybe I'll just try to do a bulk of things since I'll be off for the rest of the day after. But I have been intentional about getting a lot of rest and then work. Like right now, it's been a lot of overtime, but I just been really taking a mental break, even away from work, y'all. It's just a lot. It's just been a lot. Not that that's y'all problem, okay? Not that that's y'all problem. Anyway, I want to bore y'all for 2 minutes. So, Heart and Hustle Houston, because I'm not favorable. I just am going to give y'all my true and honest opinion on this, because it was a lot happening, and it was a lot happening. There was some things I saw. It was some things like, kind of like that. But I'm fair, y'all. I really am fair. I don't do favorites. I am fair, but I will say this. Labrina is not. I really, her and Ashley, and that's where I'm at with it. Everybody else, and Chloe, the rest of the ladies, I'm fine with. Them two, but them three, but rest, I'm good. But again, I still have things to say, and I'm still going to be fair in my assessment, and I can only give what I see on TV. All right. And I just feel like I shouldn't even have to explain that. So this is just my assessment. No cussing, no nothing. I'm just going to give y'all a real regular review. Okay? So Latoria, Ashley, and Manira, they meet up because they're planning a girls trip. Latoria talk about what has happened in this group. And, she said that she's under a lot of stress. And she said most of her stressors come from this group. And I said, it's the stressor, the group, or really is the stressor Chloe? Or is the stressor being on TV in whole? Because now you need to sit back and assess what is happening in this group that is actually causing you stress. And if so, listen. If so, friend, maybe you need to step back. And there's nothing wrong with pulling a Elena. And I don't think there's nothing wrong with what she's doing either. I just think that maybe you need to take a step back. Because on top of all of that, it's the seizures. We still have to take that into account. We still have to take into account that you lost your father. That just happened. We have to take into account that you still have to take care of his place financially. You still have to deal with that while dealing with yours, and you still have to work. That's a lot for one person. So I hope you can take these things into consideration. And we're not telling I'm not saying to quit and lay down. What I'm saying is you need to figure out if these are the things that are causing you stress. You're gonna have to figure some things out to reduce those stressors that can reduce the seizures. And I don't know how often you have them, or I don't know if this was the first time. And if I didn't catch it, let me apologize, because I didn't know. I do not like this for you, and I think you are a nice person, and I will say this. And I'm going to be as honest as I can, and I'm really going to be as honest as I can when it comes to you, Latoria. And I don't know who watched my videos, but I do know here and there, not Chloe Rowe will peek in, and I appreciate that. But if you have, I really think you need to cut Chloe off. And it's not because Chloe is such a bad person. Chloe is just incapable of being a friend. And y'all ladies cannot expect friendship from somebody who's incapable of that. She wants friends, but she doesn't know how to be a friend. And that's no problem of y'all's. That's a Chloe thing. Anyway, Manira is surprised at Chloe. Oh, and another thing I wanted to say, your health is more important. Your mental health is more important, and I'm only saying that is because this is where I'm at in my life right now. My mental health is more important. I am more important, and I hate to act like I'm Chloe right now, but I just need you to know that literally I am dealing with that right now. So there are things that I choose to do when it comes to me and when it comes to my mental health. There are just things that I choose to do that it may look problematic to other people, but to me, it is me keeping my peace. That is it, and that is all. And I don't have to explain anything to anybody. But what I'm saying is, you're going to have to cut Chloe completely off. She is not your problem. She is not your project. She has to get therapy. She has to learn how to show up as a good friend. You can't continue to be something to somebody and they're not that to you. Anyway, Manira is surprised at Chloe's behavior. And my question to everybody is, I'm not sure. Me looking at last season, and I'm pretty sure it was in my review last season, I have talked about Chloe and how messy she was. Now, I didn't get to see nothing else because everything was overshadowed by Chloe's messiness. Off rip. That's the main thing. And a very annoyance that kind of irritated me about Chloe was the fact that she was so messy. So I don't know. I don't know why y'all didn't see it. I don't know if y'all didn't want to see it, or y'all was just like, oh, she's my friend, and I don't know, but it's always been there. So anyway, Latoria tells the ladies about her about the friend session that her, Ro, and Chloe had with Miss Sylvia, and how Chloe and Ro got into it. And I will say this. I wish you had not shared that with those ladies, because I just feel like them, ultimately, they have their own separate friendship. I feel like they have their own separate friendship. And I feel like Labrina did not mind watching this friendship go in smoke. I don't like Labrina. I just don't. I don't know. She was okay with me last season. There were some things that rubbed me the wrong way about her, and I side-eyed her a couple times last season. But this season, I am not a fan. I'm not gonna, let me stop saying what I don't like, because I don't know these people. I am not favorable of Labrina, and I'm just gonna keep it at that. Um, Chloe and Latoria. Chloe, once again, you are apologizing, but there is nothing behind your apologies. You are never sincere with Ro, and I'm not even talking about these other three ladies. I'm specifically talking about with Ro and Latoria. Latoria, you are never, and I mean never, sincere with them. You think because you have a friendship with these ladies or had a friendship, that they are just supposed to forgive you off rip because you said you were sorry. That is not how that works. Apologies work with change behavior. You never change your behavior, but you constantly want to apologize to them. And then when you don't get what you want, you then want to act like the damn victim. And that's what pisses me off about you. I'm going to also say this. Is Chloe passive aggressive? She absolutely is. But Chloe has been able, I feel like, because as I stated, she has been messy as a mother last season. She has been able to get away with all of this for so long that she felt like she never had to change. So now, since everybody coming at her like, oh, she have to change, you have to do this, you have to tone down, she's flabbergasted. And I will feel the same way too. Because I will feel like, where is this coming from? Because I've always been able to show up like this. And all of a sudden, now I have to change. So I can give Chloe that just a little bit. But Chloe, you a grown ass woman. And if somebody tell you they don't like what you're doing, and if you don't have the wherewithal to stop what you're doing to better your friendship, or even not even to better your friendship, to better yourself, you really ain't shit. Like, I don't that annoys me to no end. But I also want the ladies to stop acting like right now y'all so taken back by Chloe's behavior. Because she's been able to slip through the cracks all of this time. That's all I'm saying. I'm not coming down on nobody. She's just been able to slip through the cracks. And that's what it feels like to me. Chloe has become way too comfortable. Way too comfortable. And I will say this. People like Chloe, people like Labrina, people like Ashley, I would never want to be around. Ever. I know people like them. I have to deal with people like them. And you know what I do with people like them? I do not talk to them. I don't say a word. I don't talk to them. And the only reason I have to be around people of that matters because I have to make money. But I don't talk. I mind my business. I speak. I keep going. And that is completely okay with me. But when you're in a friend group, that is completely different. And when your friends, once again, if your friends are asking you and they're telling you, hey, this is hurtful to me, you should be able to be like, you know what? Maybe I have been acting like that. I didn't realize, you know what, y'all? This is going to be a process. Let me work on this. And I'm working on it and I'm working through it. But don't match it with, well, I haven't. Stop matching it with defensiveness. Stop matching it with that. That's a problem. You're so defensive. Anyway, she shades Manera. Why? I don't know. When she meets up with Latoria, she was like, Latoria let her know, hey, we're going on again. Defenses went up immediately. Latoria said, hey, we're going on a girls trip. Since when? Defense went all the way up because now you're immediately thinking they're doing things behind your back. No, they're absolutely not. She said yesterday. I met up with them yesterday. And You get defensive, and then you become passive aggressive. So then, after the defense, you follow it. You followed after the defense. You then decide to say, so what we gonna do? Content? That wasn't funny. That wasn't funny. Like, this is what I'm talking about. The need to be shady. Because why you trying to shade Manera about content? Aren't you trying to make content with your nigga? Okay, girl. I'm sorry, y'all. My nerves have... I'm starting to get annoyed. I am getting annoyed. I am absolutely getting annoyed with all of these reality shows where we're losing the bigger picture. We're losing the bigger picture, and everything is created with drama. If I wanted to watch drama, if I wanted to bring drama, I'll watch a lot of scripted TV, and I think that's where I need to just start heading and back, just all scripted. Anyway, Chloe, when your friend is telling you, so Latoria lets her know she's unable to cry in front of her. So Chloe, once again, defensive. Chloe, when your friend is telling you she's unable to be emotional with you, you don't get to challenge that with your emotions. Did you not get enough attention as a kid? Like, I'm really am curious. And I'm not coming down on you. These are questions that I truly do have. Like, I wish that you would listen and not be so defensive. Anyway, Chloe asked, what do I have to do? Chloe, you've been asking this question since episodes ago. And they have told you multiple times, what is it that they need from you? These ladies have been clear. They have been concise. And for some reason, you have not been listening. You have not been listening. You lack the ability. I hate to sound like this, but you lack the ability to listen, Chloe. And I think for you, as a person in your field, as a woman who does events, your job is to listen to what your clients want. So if you can get paid to listen to your clients, listen to what your clients want and execute it, I don't understand why you can't do that in your friend group. But what do I know? Anyway, Latoria talk about she want to be on the same page with Chloe. Ma'am, you can't be on the same page with someone who's not willing. And when you look at, I don't know why I'm so emotional. When you look at the frustration with Ro and Latoria between Chloe, you can tell their real raw emotions. Why? Because those ladies really did care, and that was a real friendship. But I think what annoyed them, I'm gonna say past tense, what annoyed them the most is how Chloe handled it. You smile, or you act like you don't care, or you're passive aggressive. You cannot do that. Or you say, well, what am I supposed to do? Or you play victim, or like, you can't do that. And that's why this is why I say Chloe needs to be in some type of therapy. Like, I don't know if she hasn't, but I'm gonna keep saying this. Instead of Jordan, you need to have therapy. Jordan is not your therapy. Jordan mama is not your therapy. Like, I guess I don't expect you to hear your friends out, if you won't even hear your own kids out when they're telling you how they really feel. And I hate to be that person, but that's just what it is. All right. So y'all, we get to round top, and Chloe tells the ladies they have a lot of elite. Chloe was like, y'all have y'all athleisure on, and I have on these boots. So Ro mentions retirement party Labrina is throwing for Will. Ro, you knew she didn't know that, and you planted that seed to set her up, set her off. And I don't think you should have done that. You knew that was gonna make her feel away. And I get that you're mad, but that wasn't the Waste way. And that's all I'm gonna say. And you also knew, and Labrina may not have shared that with you, but based on these ladies not getting along, you already knew that she wasn't gonna be invited. Anyway, Labrina, always on her high horse, always thinks she's fucking bigger than the program. Talking about that when she was talking about Chloe on my level comment. Let me say this, because when you said it, you fucking meant that. You meant that. Like, you think you are absolutely bigger than the program. It's one thing to men not like Chloe. And I even feel like with Ro and Chloe, that's one thing. But between you and Chloe, I feel like it can be fixed, but I also feel like you don't want to fix it. You want to keep it just like this. And you want to keep it going. And you don't want these ladies to have the ability to fix their relationship with their friend. You like it like this. You like it like this. You didn't like feeling like you were on the outs. And once again, I'm going to always stand on this. Whatever happened, when you told them ladies, F you, blah, 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 that was your whole plan to bring on Ashley. And a person like her, yeah, no ma'am, you knew what you was doing. Now you trying to act like, oh, I'm just so above. It be the grandstanding that she be doing, and this shit aggravates me because I do it all the time. I'm just saying, it's the grandstanding, and I just can't. I can't, and that's how I feel, and nobody can change my mind. It is something about Labrina that I cannot. Another thing, Chloe saying things could okay. So Chloe saying things, could she have kept quiet? I think so. But I also feel like Chloe, she is feeling left out. She's hurt. So she's speaking from a hurt place. She's speaking from a hurt place. So again, I'm looking at a screen, 40 minutes of TV. I have watched reality TV till I can't watch it no more, to the point that I stopped watching a lot of housewife shows because I've got tired of the icing out. And this is exactly what it looks like. It looks like an ice out. It went from a divide to an ice out. And I also feel like the only reason she was invited on this trip is because of Latoria. And that was the only reason Latoria was at that lunch with Manira and Ashley. Because the other two, they was not going to invite Chloe. So you had to put the three neutrals in. And those two, Ashley and Manira, was going to go with whatever they went for. Latoria was the only one that was going to be like, you know what? let's see if Chloe, we can, let me fight for Chloe. That's all I'm saying. But Chloe is being passive aggressive, and she don't feel like she's being heard. But Chloe, the same thing you're feeling is the same thing your friend group is feeling. And I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about these two ladies that you have really created a relationship with. That's all. I'm not sure what happened between Chloe and the other three ladies, but it seemed like that they were good at first. So I don't know. It seemed like after Miss Sylvia, there was the divide. Anyway, Labrina decided she wanted to say that Chloe isn't a safe person. Labrina, anytime you can bring your friend's husband on to discuss his divorce situation that he's not supposed to discuss on TV makes you absolutely unsafe. The fact that you can always be male identified always makes you unsafe. You are a very unsafe person. And how dare you say that about Chloe? Chloe may be messy, and Chloe is self-absorbed, and that thing probably be selfish, but unsafe. And you might not can't tell her some stuff. Now maybe you meant unsafe in a way where she is not a safe space, okay, and you can't share some information with her. That's probably what you meant. But honey, when it comes to unsafe, you, ma'am, I'm sorry, you are not the poster child for safety. Anyway, Chloe decided she wanted to make a shady comment to Manir, and I thought it was fun. I didn't take it no way, but again, to Rose's point, she said, and I did not know this, but I do know Chloe is messy. And it makes me go back to the comment she made about Elena, about Josh. But now that we know Josh ugly ass ain't attractive, he ain't attractive. Anyway, Rose point, she said that Chloe makes digs, but she try to kind of joke it away. And that's one thing I do not like. And I cannot stand a bitch who can't stand in their shit and tell me how you feel, but you won't come to me in a joke. Get the fuck out of my face. So I can understand that. But, oh Lord. Ooh. Sorry, y'all. So yeah, I can understand that. But it often feels like maybe she is joking. And maybe everybody's so touchy, I'm going to say touchy, that whatever she says, it feels, it feels like a fight. Like it feels like she's saying something wrong. And I think that's where Chloe is coming from. It's like no matter what I say, I'm saying something wrong. And I do feel like Chloe feels like she has to walk on eggshells, and I don't think that's okay. And if we can slide over to Bell Collective, that's what it felt like with Carrie and Marie. It feels like everybody wants Carrie to walk on eggshells for Marie, but Marie is able to say and do whatever she wants. It's not like that here, but it's almost like that. And I just, I think Chloe needs to, I don't know what Chloe needs to do. I just know Chloe needs to get a therapist. I think Chloe feels like she don't have a voice. I think she feels like damned if she do and damned if she don't. And no matter what she say, it just feel like it's gonna be taken out of context, or it's gonna be taken like she's shady. But Chloe, this is what you've created. This is the environment you have always created. You have set the standard to be this person. So this is why all of these ladies are always defensive when it comes to you saying things, because this is how you've always shown up. This is how you've always shown up. So again, these are the things you need to work on. I hope you were listening to your friend, to these ladies, when they say, they've said it eons, episodes ago, what it was that you do. You don't listen. You're talking while somebody else is talking. You're inconsiderate. You don't take accountability. Like, these are just a few list of things that you have done thus far. And I just think you should show up better. Or you are always making everything about you as soon as somebody tell you about their situation, which isn't fair. It's like you don't care to hear nothing about how you've wronged them. But because as soon as you hear that, you have to tell them how you've been wronged. And you may not have been wronged by them, but you will tell them a story how you've been wronged. Like, you don't think that's weird? Like, that behavior is so weird. You cannot operate like that. You will always be on an island by yourself. And the only people that'll be around you is the people that's going to enable your bullshit. And your real friends, they're never going to want to be around you. They're going to disown you like the ones that you have now. Real friends tell you what it is. And when you don't listen, they leave. So I'm not mad at them for feeling how they feeling. I'm not mad at these ladies for leaving. Anyway, Labrina, again, she's just gonna act like she's just so above the standard, girl. Bye. Because you was the villain at the beginning of the episode. I still think you are, but it just now shifted on Chloe, and so now you want to stand on your soapbox and pass judgment on Chloe as if you have not done absolutely anything, and you have done the most vile thing on this season. So you can miss me. You can absolutely miss me. You had a whole conversation with Josh. Wasn't you the one who started the whole situation between Ashley and LaToya? Like, you have done some things. So don't come on here and act like you ain't been doing nothing or starting shit. Girl, like, she just really... Keep going, Erica. Keep going. Anyway, to all my new subscribers, yes, I go by Kiwan, but my real name is Erica. Okay. Alright. Chloe is really defensive because she feels like it's her against everybody else. And again, Chloe, in order for you to hear everybody out, you really need to drop the defensiveness. You can't hear if you're not listening, if you're not willing to listen, and if you don't drop your defenses. Drop the gloves, ma'am. Like, listen to your friends. I just don't think these ladies are trying to tell you anything wrong. And with Ro, I just wish you would not get so upset. And we're about to talk about that, but this not the first. You have been getting so upset, but I understand why. But I wish you would not let Chloe take you there. Why? Because you understand how Chloe is, and there is nothing you can do about Chloe. You can only change you. Anything outside of you, mind you, ain't got nothing to do with that. Let Chloe be Chloe. Like, you've already called her fake. You already told her she was weird. You already know how she rocked. So you know what? You've done the right thing. You moved away from it. You've yelled, you've screamed, you've done all of that. Now you have to continue to protect your peace. Just like LaToya. But now LaToya, you need to get there. It hurts. And I get that. And I think that's where all of this is coming from. These ladies are coming from a hurt place. But Chloe, you don't seem to see that. And I think that's why these ladies are emoting the way that they are. Anyway, Manira checks on Chloe. And I just felt like it wasn't wrong with Manira actually checking on Chloe. She was really just checking this lady's temperature. And Chloe gets defensive again because I'm okay. You need to check on Norm. Girl. I mean, she said that in her confessional, but still. Why? That wasn't even warranted. Like, she really was just checking on you. She didn't have to check on you. She didn't have to check on you. She didn't have to check on you. And it almost got Manira agitated, but she was like, you know what? She actually censored herself. She was not mad, and she said that, which we're about to get to roll, because if Manira wasn't mad, I don't know why you got upset. I don't know. Again, I was not there. So Ro tells Chloe, I don't you. Ro, she said she was mad because Chloe don't take accountability, and we know that. She said she didn't take accountability for the things that she said to Manira. Chloe don't know what she said, and it's like, I'm annoyed now. I'm annoyed. Me, Erica Kiwan. Erica Kiwan. I am annoyed. I tell y'all my last name, but Erica Kiwan. I am annoyed because it feels like this all they've been telling you for these past episodes. Like, I feel like that's all I've been talking about. Like, these ladies, it gets annoying. So I can't even imagine how many hours y'all had to film and how many times these ladies have to keep going over this over and over. Are you not hearing them? For me, this goes past medicine. I'm sorry. This goes past, and this is no shade to nobody. Again, I'm going to keep saying this, and I'm tired of apologizing for a lot of stuff. This goes past medicine. This is now common sense. You don't listen. Let me calm down now, because I'm acting like I was there. Chloe, maybe you have to take a break from this friend group. And I'm not saying Chloe is the antagonist. I just think Chloe is messy, self-absorbed, and bit of a, spoiled, maybe selfish, whatever, those things. But nothing trumps Sister Labrina. Nothing. And I promise y'all, I'm going to stand on that hill. But I do feel like Chloe probably, and maybe that's a cowardly way, just like, with Latoya, that's one thing, because of her health issues. But with Chloe, I think while this is going on, if you're going to be in this friend group, you really should make some adjustments for you. And I really think you should really get into therapy. Anyway, Chloe don't know what she said. Ro tells her what she did for the 11th time, and we're in episode 10. And this is when it begins to get loud, and I got so annoyed. So my question to Manira is, do you think what Chloe said was a dig? Because if Manira don't think it's a dig, conversation need to be over. Ain't no yelling, ain't no screaming, nothing else. It just need to be over. But it is what it is. And Ro, if I were you, and I know you're not me, and I'm not qualified to give you or nobody else no advice, but I really would have just walked off. Because I feel like at this moment, anything Chloe say or do, it agitates you. So being around Chloe, literally sitting next to Chloe, I don't know if y'all, I don't know what was that about. I would have left because y'all was just too close to each other for my liking. I was like, why y'all in there? But everybody was in good spirit until y'all wasn't. So Chloe was just drinking, and I'm looking at Chloe like, maybe you shouldn't be drinking. But again, I do notice that on these shows, they like to get these people liquored up, and that's another thing I don't like. Like, why do these people have to get liquored up? So, I don't like that, and I hope that that's not a requirement, but I don't like it. Anyway, because it heightens everybody's sensitivity. The alcohol. I don't like it. I just feel like the ladies need a timeout. And Ro, why would you pull? Why? I know you was mad, but you didn't have to pull her chair. Like, I just don't think that was right. I just don't think I don't think Chloe should have came, but I guess you can't get no. I don't know if production made her come or what, but I feel like production probably made her come for drama's sake. I don't know, but you pulled her chair, you got in her face, and I was just like, did I miss something? Like, did she sit? I don't even want. I just want to know if I missed something or not. Like, I don't know, but I need to know what warrant that, because again, what I saw, I was like, wait a minute. You really have been able to walk away. And every time I've seen you on those episodes, whenever you had conflict with Chloe, with Miss Sylvia, you yelled. Yeah, you yelled. You expressed yourself verbally. But when it got more than enough and you was like, I can't, you walked away. But this, I've never seen you pull out her chair. Go. What you gonna do? Get it. I just don't think that was a lot. That was a lot. And so now Manira's trying to talk to Chloe. And Chloe calls her a bitch. And I'm like, Chloe, why would you do that? I think Manira was trying to smooth us over and trying to calm Chloe down. But then while this is going on, I just didn't think that was a good idea either. I would have just let cooler heads prevail. I wish she had not done that. But I don't know. You can't, again, if I'm a quote funky, you can't do something to somebody and tell them how mad to get. But I just don't know what happened. I feel like I missed something. Like, what I don't like about the production side of the show, that is so choppy. And I don't want to keep going back to Precious Gate, but Precious Gate was so choppy. Like, that was dumb. So at this point, I just let it go. Like, I just need everybody to go to their respective corners. Anyway, Labrina was like, I'm glad everybody, just looked out their rose-colored glass, took off their rose-colored glass, and I'm looking at her like, girl, shut up. Like, my rose-colored glass is all for you and your little friend. But whatever. But y'all sitting there snickling and Ashley just laughing. Like, again, for me, production is choppy. But when I'm looking at it from my screen, it's like she's telling y'all what happened, and y'all making light of the situation. Like, inhale the bullshit, exhale. This shit was not funny. These ladies were friends. These ladies were real friends. And I say were because these ladies not friends no more. And that shit is pretty shit. That's pretty shitty. And it may not be shitty now, but it was. I don't know. Maybe I just... Anyway, Chloe gets on the phone and called Jordan. Like, I was so kind to these ladies. I was like, girl. Chloe, you was shady. You was just saying stuff, and it felt like you were saying stuff and poking a bear, saying stuff. And then not only did you do that, then after you pissed off the masses, you came back out and you pissed Latoria off. You pissed this lady off to tears, and I was like, my God, on today. Anyway, Chloe, you don't see your friends. You don't listen to your friends. And you like to make everything about you. And I feel like I said this over and over and over and over in this review. Like, so Latoria comes in and check on her. Which, Latoria is your only partial ally, because I feel like you're hanging on by a thread with Latoria anyway. All right? And you're talking about Manera, how Manera isn't fun, and you know, you let Latoria know you call her bitch, and you know, you was like, you don't have to say it because, you know, I mean, wait, what did she say? You know she ain't fun. Okay. Why do you have to say it? Why do you have to say it? Do you feel like you have to voice everything that comes to your mind? You don't have to say everything. That's all. You don't have to say everything. Sometimes you just gotta read the room. Like, that's it. Just read the room. And it may feel like I am coming down hard on Chloe, and I am not. I'm just saying, like, maybe you have to, you know, just read the room just a little bit. A lot. I just really want Chloe to go to therapy. And I just think that is the bottom line. But I just feel like Manera didn't deserve you calling her the B word. Again, I don't know what I missed. If I missed something, tell me if I missed something. So Jordan makes it there. Latoria goes outside and talks to Jordan, and she wants Chloe to stay. Why? Y'all don't want her there. You barely want her there. Why should she stay? I think production should allow her to go home. I think that that's not fair to put somebody in an environment, keep somebody in a contentious environment where everybody thinks she's causing the fires and the flames and all of that. I just don't think that that's okay. In my opinion, I think Chloe should leave so everybody can have a good time. Because here's the thing, if it were you and the shoe was on the other foot, you would want to stay in an environment like this either. So I don't think it's fair to Chloe to want to keep her in an environment where nobody wants to talk to her. And as far as Ashley, I don't know what your issue with Chloe is, because she had not done anything to you. I just don't think so. Yeah, maybe she made I just think you just keep inserting yourself, because again, you're new to this friend group. You're absolutely new to this friend group. So really, you don't have nothing to do with a lot of this stuff. Anyway, I don't know if time is what the hell y'all need, or somebody got to get off the island. If y'all not willing to make it work with Chloe, and Chloe's not willing to make a change, then production's gonna have to do something. Production's gonna have to do something, or they're gonna have to bring on a friend for Chloe. I don't know, but production's gonna have to make some changes come next season. You're gonna have to be some friend ofs, demotions, friend of replacements. Yeah, it was some. Yeah, because Anyway, Chloe didn't leave. She left. I mean, she stayed. I wish she would have left. But then you get in your confessional, and you said, Lord, I guess she said she was good. I don't know. I was like, girl. Oh, no. I'm sorry. So the ladies were sitting down having dinner. I'm sorry. I had to look at that again. The ladies were sitting down having dinner, and Latoria was talking about her seizures. And I think Latoria just, for me, her talking about her seizures, that seizure she had, I just think she just not past it. Like, just because it happened, I just don't think she's past that it happened to her. And I want to say it sounded like it just recently happened. And I don't think she was able to process it. And I think now she's trying to process it. And she's processing it with the ladies that she experienced that around. And you wasn't there. And so you come and you sit down, and then you get in your confessional, and you have the nerve to say, girl, you good. You got up And I promise you, if I would have seen that confessional, I would have beat your ass on sight. Why? Because that's fucked up. Because if somebody came up to you, your husband died, and they would have told you some bullshit like, girl, you already cried at the damn funeral. What the hell you still crying for? You would absolutely think that shit is insensitive. So for you, and then you gonna say, well, I guess it's just the tough love is just about, stop. If you cannot display this type of, I'm getting mad. I'm getting mad. If you don't have the ability to show empathy and sympathy for your friend, for your one friend, let me rephrase it. If you don't have the empathy and sympathy to show to your one friend, then you probably should leave the show. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Because it's going to be the same thing. It's going to be repetitious with you. And you think you're going to be able to do the same, like come back with the same type of behavior. I will say this. When it comes to the show and its drama, you are good for TV. When it comes to the show and its drama, Labrina is good for TV. I will give y'all that. But when it comes to being a girl's girl and being a friend to the lady, to the women that have been friends with you, you suck ass, girl. I'm sorry. And then you sit to the table and then you smile. And as Latoya is talking about it once again, because you laughed an episode or two ago, which was pretty fucked up. And then you take this moment to smile. And it feels like you really take Latoya as a joke. So now I have to wonder if your friendship with Latoya is that genuine. Is your friendship with Latoya, is it really genuine? Because I feel like it's not. I feel like you having a friendship with Latoya was rooted in the demise of that breakdown with all of you ladies. And you needed allies. And I feel like you brought, maybe, I don't know if you and Ro had already, you and Ro was I felt like was a little contentious with the whole Shaniqua thing. But I feel like you gravitated more to these ladies because you needed allies. I've always thought that, but I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna try to give you the benefit of the doubt, and I won't come on and say that outright. I try to keep a lot of my commentary to myself, but I think I'm gonna stop doing that, and I'm gonna start saying it. But that's how I felt, and now it's like you treat Latoya how you feel about her. And somebody always said that to me, my auntie. Shout out to my auntie, okay? How a person treats you is how they feel about you. And I really think Latoya should cut you completely off. You are not deserving of this lady's friendship. Ro has already cut you off because she feels like you're not deserving of her friendship. And I'm not mad at that. Anyway, so Chloe, you're there and you're confessional, making everything about you again when the ladies confront you about it. Because at this point, Latoya is pissed, and so she started to go off, but in a light way, because she have to kind of tone it down so she won't get herself sick and upset. And Latoya gets mad. She walks off and she is just bawling, crying. And I would just be so tired of crying about Chloe. Like, I will be so tired about crying about Chloe. I would. I'm not even gonna hold y'all. Y'all can just really collectively send her home, and I wouldn't be mad at it. Again, this is the end of the episode. I'm sorry, y'all. This took 55 minutes, but I had to say what I needed to say. And I didn't want to just be all Chloe, but Chloe, you made it that way. Okay? You made it that way. I don't know what to say. You made it that way. Anyway, because this was an hour long, I'm not doing another video because it's 7 o'clock. And I am waiting for Watch Your Mouth reviews and Mrs. Best reviews to go live with the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Okay. They'll be going live in a little bit, I think. So yeah, I'll be there. I will be there, over there, in 15 minutes. They'll be live in about 17 minutes, y'all. So, anyway, this is your girl, Kiwan, reminding you to keep showing up, keep growing, stay true to yourself, and I will catch y'all in the next video. Bye.